It all began in 1848 when gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill in California. The news spread like wildfire, triggering the famous gold rush. Thousands of people from the East Coast, known as the 49ers, abandoned their homes and traveled thousands of miles in covered wagons. They crossed treacherous mountains and scorching deserts, all driven by the dream of striking it rich overnight. In a land where the law was slow to arrive, the gun became the ultimate judge. This era gave birth to legendary outlaws whose names still echo today. Jesse James, often romanticized as a Robin Hood figure, he was actually a ruthless bank and train robber. The image of two men standing face to face on a dusty street, waiting to see whose hand would reach their Colt revolver first, became the iconic symbol of life and death in the West. To counter the chaos, legendary lawmen stepped into the light. The most famous among them was Wyatt Earp. In 1881, the town of Tombstone, Arizona witnessed the gunfight at the OK Corral. In a shootout that lasted only about 30 seconds, Earp and his brothers, along with Doc Holliday, drew a bloody line between law and lawlessness. While Hollywood movies often portray cowboys as glamorous heroes, their daily lives were incredibly grueling. They were essentially migrant laborers who herded thousands of cattle across vast plains. They faced extreme weather, loneliness, and exhaustion, sleeping under the stars with only their horse and a rifle for company. This expansion came at a heavy price for the indigenous people. As settlers moved west, they encroached on the lands of Native American tribes. Great leaders like Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse fought valiantly to protect their way of life. Although they won a massive victory at the Battle of the Little Bighorn, they were eventually overwhelmed by the sheer number of settlers and the advanced weaponry of the U.S. Army. The wild in the West began to fade with the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869. The iron horse replaced the wagon, and barbed wire fences began to carve up the open range. By the turn of the century, the law had finally caught up with the wilderness, and the era of the gunslinger passed into the realm of legend. Weaponry: the Colt .45 Peacemaker and Winchester rifles. Economy: gold mining, cattle ranching, and land speculation. Social hub: the saloon, a place for whiskey, poker, and often trouble.